Greetings, greetings, greetings. Good evening, good evening. Happy sunrest. What's going on? Let me make sure we good on let me make sure we have audio on Facebook. Give me 1 second while you guys log on. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Good evening, good evening. All right, we got audio on Facebook. All right, my brothers and sisters, what's going on? This is your brother Chief Kalanago, man, sending love and positive energy to each and every one of you. I want to acknowledge our righteous ancestors, the righteous gods, the universal supreme creators of the universe, our ancestors. We are them and they are us. You feel me? So let us get into this build. As always, my videos are strictly for knowledge purposes, all right? Not for educational purposes. I don't deal with education. Education is a form of brainwashing. So I don't do that. All right. So I'm here to give knowledge, enlighten, uplift. You did. So this video is an offset of I've done something similar, right? But I'm gonna go a little more in detail. This message is a little more direct. Okay. And as always, some of the things that I say, a lot of people may or may not resonate with it, but it is what it is, right? Hold on for 1 second. All right. So, yeah, it is what it is, right? I'm only here to give you the truth, give you the visual, and let you know the state of emergency that we are living in. Okay. And I always ask my people, we need to stop being reactive. Why do we always have to wait until the last minute? Why do we always have to wait until we are not prepared, then to get prepared? It just doesn't make sense. You see, I'm a proactive kind of guy. So I just don't like to talk. I like to do. But I will continue to tell you that I cannot do this alone. Okay. I know I was sent for this journey. I know I was sent for this purpose, right? But it wasn't meant for me to do alone. But I'm going to share some information with you and let you see the severity and the realization of what we are dealing with and what we are going to deal with if we don't wake our asses up and be proactive, because this is not a game. I i really really don't seem to get it. What is the problem? What's the problem? I literally have 4,999 friends on Facebook, and every time I go to my timeline, it's literally a bunch of distractions. Like, what is wrong with y'all people, man? This is mind-boggling. It's puzzling. I mean, I know what's going on, but it's still a challenge for me to accept it. You know, it's still a challenge, and it's like people just don't care, and that's crazy. The same thing is happening out here in Dominica. It's happening in Jamaica. It's happening literally all over the Americas. All right. And for some reason, like I said, we just don't seem to care. So I'm going to read an article to you and for you, and then we'll get into the build. All right. Let me go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to get into this article. It's an article from Forbes magazine. All right. Let me go ahead and share my screen. For those of you that's going to miss the live, I guess you could always catch the replay on that one. Okay. Here we are. And once again, please do your own due diligence. I am giving you the information. That means the information is already searched. So now you have to do your research. All right. So here we are. This is from Forbes Business. How much how much US farmland does China really own? Okay. My brothers and sisters, this is serious. Okay, it is serious. And I did a video about 1.5 to 2 years ago warning y'all about this. And it's manifesting, it's becoming a reality. But a lot of you will not get it. Okay? A lot of you won't get it until it's too late. But let us read. How much US farmland does China really own? Definitely more than Bill Gates and less than 17 other countries. Now, let's pay attention to what we just read. So the article is telling us that China owns less, no, China owns more land than Bill Gates. Now, Bill Gates is a nerd, a tech guy, right? What is Bill Gates doing owning so much land? But a lot of y'all just don't see a problem with it, right? Or you complain about it, but you don't do a damn thing about it, right? So China owns more land than Bill Gates in US farmland, but less than 17 other countries. So therefore, there are 17 other countries that own more land in the US than China and Bill Gates. So let's read a little bit of that. That article came out on March 1st, 2023. Top line: Chinese purchases of US agricultural land sparked concern in Congress among a bipartisan group of lawmakers, but 18 other countries own more American agricultural acres than China. So it's actually not 17, 18 more. Okay? Crops being harvested on an Iowa farm in 2018. The photo was by Scott Olson, Getty Images. Key facts: the Department of Agriculture requires foreign entities who buy U.S. agricultural land to file a report within 90 days disclosing what they bought. Okay. Citing staff shortages, the Department of Agriculture didn't penalize foreign parties for violating reporting rules from 2015 to 2018, prompting 28 lawmakers to criticize the department's complete lack of accountability and oversight Monday in a letter obtained by Wall Street Journal. Two bills introduced in the House of Representatives and the Senate argue foreign influence on American agricultural land could affect America's economy, food supply, and national security. Concern about Chinese purchases of U.S. agricultural land increased in late January when China-based Fugen, all right, Group Limited was prevented, from building a corn mill on land close to North Dakota Air Force Base after officials called it a security risk. The Chinese spy balloon shot down February 4th increased worries that foreign governments could use U.S. land for espionage efforts, reports the journal. Okay. China owns roughly 384,000 acres of land, agricultural land, not just land, but agricultural land, according to 2021 report from the Department of Agriculture. Now let's pay attention to this. We the American Aborigines, you out here renting apartments, you out here renting houses, you out here literally struggling and begging, some people cannot even afford to pay rent, but yet still China owns 384,000 acres of agricultural land in our homeland. But y'all don't see a problem with it because y'all too distracted with the nonsense. I mean, I just can't fathom this. I mean, I know why it's happening, but it is just a tough pill to swallow. You know what I mean? It's just a tough pill to swallow. And that's crazy to me. It says, of that, 195,000 acres worth about $2 billion when purchased are owned by 85 Chinese investors, which could be individuals, companies, or the government. Nobody knows because there's no accountability. Okay. The other 189,000 acres were worth 235 million when purchased and are owned by 62 US corporations with Chinese shareholders. My brothers and sisters, the US is a corporation. China is a corporation. Our ancestral land is being sold to foreign companies. But we don't see a problem with that, huh? We still here divided. We still here fighting each other. We still here fighting for blocks and streets. And you can't come to my block. If you want to come to my block, you got to ask for permission because we over here fighting over colors. Man, I tell you, man, whatever y'all did to deserve this, y'all have to ask for some heavy repentance. And like I said, I know exactly why it's happening because all that stuff is in my book. But again, even if I know, the conscious aspect or the humanity in me, it's a little tough to accept and swallow as our reality. Okay? Chinese agricultural land ownership only increased about 550 acres from 2015 to 2019. Then ownership jumped from 30% from 2019 to 2020, from some 247,000 acres to roughly 352 acres. US companies with Chinese shareholders more than doubled their acreage that year, accounting for 102,000 acres of the growth. China acquired another 32,000 US agricultural acres in 2021, not as much as they scooped up in 2020, but 98% higher than their combined growth between 2015 and 2019. Surprising facts. Of the 109 countries that own US agricultural land, you hear that? Out of 109 countries that own US agricultural land, China ranks number 18. Can you imagine that? China is number 18 on the list. So therefore, there are 17 other countries on that list that owns more land than China. Far behind number one, Canada, 12.8 billion, million acres. How is that Canada own so much land in the United States? Why? Because Canada is also a corporation. And who knows who their shareholders are in Canada? They might as well be Chinese as well, working through the Chinese government, through the Canadian government, but they are the major shareholders. My brothers and sisters, we are about to be enslaved by China, and people just don't give a damn because y'all too busy distracted. You feel me? Hey, Mom, I'll call you right back, all right? All right. All right. How is that Canada? How much land do we own in Canada? In fact, how much land do we own in the US? Hmm? No, just think of what I'm saying. Not 12,000 acres, 12.8 million acres China owns. Not China, Canada owns. And even at the Cayman Islands, even the Cayman Islands own 692,000 acres. But Negroes out here fighting for blacks. They fighting for neighborhood blacks. Man, whatever y'all did in your past life, man, I'm telling you, y'all need some repentance. Okay? And I'm saying y'all because that is not my reality. Okay? I'm not into the distractions. As you could see, I'm fighting for this every day. Okay? So I have to differentiate myself from that group of people. Because every day, go look at my track record. Go look at all my videos. I am consistent. My message is consistent. Fighting to restore our birthright. Fighting to restore what's ours, our inheritance. But for some reason, people just don't seem to get it. And I'm not talking about everyone. You know yourselves. You know what you do on Facebook. You know you come on there every day and all you do is gossip and post a bunch of bullshit. You know yourself. Countries who own the most acres in the US agricultural land. Let's check this out. Canada, 12,845,000 acres. The Netherlands, 4,875,000 acres. Italy, Italy. Let me repeat that. Italy, 2,703,000 acres. What is Italy doing owning so much land in the US? Agricultural land. But we don't give a damn though. But we care about the black. Hmm? We fighting over blacks in the neighborhoods. United Kingdom, 2,538,000. Germany, but Germany is supposed to be one of their enemies, huh? Germany, 2,269,000 acres. Portugal, one of the first colonizers that came here, 1,316 acres. Denmark, 856,000. Luxembourg, I don't even know where the hell that place is at, and I don't care to know. Of course, I could find out, but I don't care. The bottom line is they own 802,000 acres. Ireland, 760,000 acres. Bill Gates owns almost as much as U.S. agricultural land as China, 248,000 acres, according to the Land Report. Though the magazine named him the largest private farmland owner in January 2021, the Microsoft founder came under fire in early 2022 when he was briefly barred from purchasing 2,100 acres of North Dakota farmland. Why is Bill Gates buying that? I'll explain to you all of this in a few minutes. Conspiracy theories suggested Bill Gates was buying up millions of acres of U.S. farmland for nefarious reasons, according to the fact-checking services Snopes, with some claiming that Gates owned 80% of all U.S. farmland. Gates continues to deny any plot, telling Reddit users in January that he owns less than one-fourth thousandth of U.S. farmland and invests in farms to improve their production and create jobs. Yeah, okay. Surprising fact, Gates is number 41 on the Land Report's 2022 list of Americans who own the most land. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos comes in at number 24 with what? 442,000 acres. But yet still we are the American Aborigines, and we're here fighting for blacks and the black up the street, because you know what? This color don't like that color, so you need permission to come on the black. And you wonder why you are suffering. You wonder why you are perishing. It's not because of the color of your skin. It's not because your skin is black. No, it is because of your damn ignorance and stupidity. Because at some point, ignorance turns into stupidity. It does. Okay? It does. Which forms the site of this suborbital spaceflight company, Blue Origin. What to watch for? The Foreign Adversary Risk Management Act, introduced in the House of Representatives and the Senate of January 25th, would trigger a Department of Agriculture and Government Accountability Office investigation into foreign influence on America's agricultural industry. The House bill is being reviewed by the Committee on Financial Services and the Committee on Agriculture. The Senate bill is being reviewed by the Committee on Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs. Now, look at all this land that's sold. Where did all this money go? Where did all this money go? Guess where it's going? It's going to help the foreigners. Okay? In Ukraine and, Ireland and all these different places. They take care of their own. The United States was not created for the American Aborigines, aka African American, aka Black people in the Americas, or even in the United States. Okay? And I did a video on that before. You are not part of the United States. You are not one of the people. You belong somewhere in some black land in Africa. They told you, bold face. The Dred Scott case said you could never be a citizen of the United States, meaning that you could never be one of the people. Never. That wasn't repealed. It is still in effect. All right. Okay, let's let a little further reading. If you want to read some more, anyway, do your own due diligence and look it up yourself. All right. And go ahead and do some more reading. But anyway, let me get back to the live. Well, I'm actually on the live, but let me get back to this information right here. Okay. Now, how serious is this? You want me to tell you how serious it is? Right here in Dominica right now. Dominica had a hospital called the Princess Margaret Hospital. It was named after I think the Queen of England. So it was called the Princess Margaret Hospital. That's the hospital I was born in. Guess what? The name is now. Guess the name of the hospital in Dominica right now. The main hospital. Dominica/China Hospital. China is buying up all the land in Dominica, and the prime minister is selling Dominica to the Chinese, selling passports, taking the money. The prime minister of Dominica is the richest prime minister in the entire Caribbean, but yet still the people are suffering. When are my people going to get this? This is happening in Jamaica. This is happening all over the Americas. All over the Americas. But we are here distracted. We are here fighting each other. And I did a video on this, I think, about 1.5 to 2 years ago. And I told you that you are going to be Chinese citizens very soon. And everything I keep telling y'all and teaching y'all is becoming a reality. But one of these days, you're going to reflect on all of this and say, damn, Chief was telling us the truth all this time. And we never stepped up and did anything. So we're going from one foreign occupier to another, enslaved by another. Because why? You think you have privileges, you got a job, you got a car, you got a home. You think that's the dream? That is the dream they sold you. This is the dream that they sold you. You feel me? How in heaven's name? I mean, it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even add up. How in heaven's name that the Netherlands own over close to 5 million acres of land in the US? How is that Italy owns close to 3 million acres of land in the Americas, and we, the American Aborigines, cannot even get an acre? And I'm here giving people knowledge, begging us to come together so we could step up, and people just don't see the severity and the urgency in this at all. Germany owns 2,669,000 acres. France, a little country such as France, all these places we just mentioned could literally, their population could fit in Texas. Now, let me show y'all something. Let's go look at foreign occupier, because you see, I have to keep giving you the knowledge. I have to keep giving you the knowledge, even if the majority of y'all just don't get it. But you know what? I'm addicted to teaching. That's what I was sent for. That's my purpose. So I cannot help myself. Call me stupid. Call me foolish. But you know what it is? It's okay. I'll be a fool for you. I'll be a fool for my people, because I just refuse to hold on to this narrative that you're not going to get it one way or the other. So I have to keep teaching. I have to keep reaching. I have to keep making an attempt to open up your eyes so that maybe something might click one day and say, you know what, man? I don't know if Chief is correct, but this brother been on this path for a very long time. And I look at all his videos and he's very consistent. Maybe there's some truth to what he's saying. Let's see if we could do something different so that we could get something different. Because you see, when you keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, it's called insanity. My brothers and sisters, aren't you tired of being slaves? Aren't you tired of getting up 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 6:30, go to somebody's job, give them all your energy and get a piece of paper that has no value, because your true value is your energy. So you are giving true value and you are getting something without value. Now, the technology in this is you think it's the money buying whatever you buy, but it's not the money. It's a promissory note. A promissory note has no value, so therefore you did not buy anything. You made a promise to pay. You feel me? But if you did not give your energy, you would not get the fiat currency. So therefore, it's actually your energy that bought what you have, not the fiat currency. Mm-mm-mm. Another trick that was played. Make you think that when you work, the money is actually what you use to buy things. No, it's your energy that you use to buy the thing, because if you did not give your energy, you would not get that worthless piece of paper. It has no damn value. Literally, a penny costs more than the dollar. A penny costs more than the $20 bill. A penny, it costs more to make a penny than the $100 bill, because the paper is worthless. The precious metal has more value. I mean, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. It is absolutely insane. Let me show y'all something. Those who have eyes, let them see, and ears, let them hear. Let us go look at foreign occupier. Let me put y'all onto some game and teach y'all something and see what comes up when I put in foreign occupier. Okay? The first thing we're going to do, we're going to look at the meaning of occupier. That's the first thing we're going to look at. And then we're going to look at foreign occupier. Okay? Let's read this. Occupier, a person or a company residing in or using a property as its owner or tenant, or legally as a squatter. A member of a group that takes possession of a country by force. Okay? Let us go look at foreign occupier. Foreign occupier. Let's see what it says. Foreign occupier, right? Foreign occupation and international law. Okay? Occupier territory, yet individual doctrine makes policies. We want international organizations having increasingly joined states. Give me 1 second. Foreign occupier. All right. Now see this foreign occupier. You see what comes up on Wikipedia? Military occupation. You know what's also going to come up? The International Committee of the Red Cross. Man, listen. My people perish for the lack of knowledge. You think the Red Cross is there to help people? The Red Cross is there because of military operation of foreign occupiers. The United States is a foreign occupier. So therefore, the Red Cross has to be involved. Okay, but let us read a little bit, because reading is fun for the mental. Let's read military occupation. This article is about territorial occupation. For the ranks and positions, see military rank. Occupied territories redirects here. For a list of occupied territories, see a list of military occupations, occupied zones, etc., etc., etc. Okay? Military occupation, also known as belligerent occupation or simply occupation. You see that? Now, people who have jobs, they always ask you, what's your occupation? Man, listen, I laugh because, like I tell people, man, the knowledge that I have in my head, if I could just take the knowledge that I have in my head and put it in the minds of 20,000 people, just 20,000. We don't need all the millions and millions of people, just the 20,000. We could take over the world. Literally. I'm a very dangerous man when it comes to the mental capacity. You see, they would rather see me with a gun in my hand, and I will not be such a huge threat to them. And when I say them, I'm talking about the system. They would rather see me with a gun in my hand because they have bigger guns than have the type of mindset and knowledge that I have. I'm telling you that's a fact. All right? So let's read this again. Military occupation, also known as belligerent occupation or simply occupation. When you have an occupation, you are in uniform because you have to follow codes on the job. So therefore, you are in uniform. Even if you have your regular clothes, you're still in uniform because you have an occupation. You are in the military. You have a commander, a manager. All right? Is the effective military control by a ruling power over a territory that is outside of that power's sovereign territory. You read this? Let's read this again. Military occupation, also known as belligerent occupation, or simply occupation, is the effective military control by a ruling power over a territory that is of that power's sovereign territory. So therefore, the United States, okay, is a military occupier that holds power that is outside of that powers, outside of the powers of us Aboriginal people. I hope you just heard the way I broke this down. I'm going to reiterate. The United States is a foreign power. The United States is a military occupier. Simply occupation. Okay? It is the effective military control by the ruling power, which is the United States, over the territory, the United States, that is outside of that powers of the sovereign territory. Because like I told y'all before, we are the only ones that are the true sovereigns of the land. My brothers and sisters, like, I want to use some colorful words, but I know I know when to teach, I don't have to use profanity, but I want to use some heavy profanity right now. That's how frustrating this is. But once again, I know my mother look at my videos at some point. And even if she'll forgive me, I just don't want I don't want her to hear me swear. And that's not my nature anyway. I don't like to swear. But it makes you want to swear. It makes me want to take a drink, get drunk, and just start cursing people out. You feel me? But I don't drink. Let's read a little further. The territory is then known as the occupied territory. But the United States is the power that controls the occupier, and the territory is the occupied territory. Okay? And the ruling power is the occupant. So you have the occupant and you have the occupee, if I may. Occupation is distinguished from annexation. What is annexation? Here we go. Annexation is what? In international law, is the forcible acquisition and assertion of legal title over one state's territory by another state, usually following military occupation of that territory. Okay? And of course, colonialism by its intended temporary duration. Now, my brothers and sisters, this is very important here. Okay? We know that some of it was by annexation, not from towards the latter end, but from the beginning it was through colonialism. Okay, now with that being said, be it by annexation or whether it was by colonialism, it makes no difference because it has to be for an extended period of time. It cannot be into perpetuity. So, well, Chief, what are you saying? What I'm saying is this: the United States is a foreign occupier, whether by annexation or through colonialism. But guess what? It is intended by international law to be temporary, for a temporary duration. Now, let me put you onto some game. Okay? When is that temporary duration over? It's over when the indigenous people, the sovereign people of the land, step up and say, we are taking back control. And guess what? Within international law, we have a right to ask the U.S. to step down. If they don't step down, we could do it by force. That's what the UN is there for. We could do it by force. That is in international law. It's called foreign occupancy laws. But I'm teaching my people, my ancestors, man, open up their eyes, man. It's hurting me, man. It's hurting me. What is wrong with y'all, man? Let's read some more. While an occupant may set up formal military government in the occupied territories to facilitate its administration, it is not a necessary precondition for occupation. The rules of occupation are delineated in various international agreements, primarily the Hague Convention of 1907. That's why everything deals with the Hague. I'm ready to take a trip to the Hague. I was ready to do that in 2016, 2017 when we created our nation. But of course, some negative energy came in. Because you see, I've been sent to do this. I was sent to do this. But I can't do it alone. The Geneva Convention of 1949, as well as established in practice. The relevant international conventions, the International Committee of the Red Cross, of course, Red Cross deals with occupational laws and international laws and foreign occupiers. They have to be there just in case there's an insurgent or there's a war that happens, or the sovereign people decide that, hey, we won back our land, we won back our territories, it's time for you to go, and the US don't want to go, then the Red Cross is going to step in. Okay? Now, commentaries and other treaties by military scholars provide guidelines on such topics as rights and duties of occupying powers, protection of civilians, treatment of prisoners of war, coordination of relief efforts, issuance of travel documents, property rights of the populace, handling of the cultural and art objects, management of fugitives, and other concerns with are very important, both before and after the cessation of hostilities. I have all these laws. I have all these documents. I have all of them in my possession. Okay, in a document called Foreign Occupation. I have all of that. I know the rules. I know the laws, how they have to deal with prisoners, everything, because we are prisoners of war. We did not come here from Africa as slaves. We are prisoners of war. Okay? A country that establishes an occupation and violates international agreement upon norms runs the risk of censure, criticism, or condemnation. In the current era, the practices of occupations have largely become a part of customary international law and form a part of laws of war, because even in war, there is laws. Okay? From the second half of the 18th century onwards, international law has come to distinguish between the occupation of a country and territorial acquisition by invasion and annexation. The difference between the two being originally expounded upon by Emmerich de Vital in the Law of Nations, 1758. The clear distinction has been recognized among the principles of international law since the end of Napoleonic wars in the 19th century. The Hague Convention of 1907 codified these customary laws, specifically within laws and customs of law on land, which the Hague deals with. October 18th, 1907, Section 3, military authority over the territory of the hostile state. The first two articles of that section states, Article 42, territory is considered occupied when it is actually placed under the authority of the hostile army. So who was the hostile? The hostile ones, the United States. Okay, the occupation extends only to the territory where such authority has been established and can be exercised. That was only supposed to be within a 10-mile radius of Washington, D.C. But it's been extended to the intercontinental United States, which is the 49 plus Alaska. Okay, 48, so 50 states. Article 43, the authority of the legitimate power having in fact passed under the hands of the occupant The latter shall take all measures in this power to restore and ensure as far as possible public order and safety while respecting, unless absolutely prevented, the laws in force of this country. Now, so let's read this again. I'm teaching y'all about occupancy laws when it comes to international laws. You see, there are rules to this game, and a lot of you don't comprehend these things because nobody's teaching it to you. I'm the only one teaching you this on the internet, because I'm showing you how we could get back our birthright. But y'all Negroes, not American Indians, not Aborigines, you're just talking it. You're not about it. You're not about it. You're just talking it. You're just an American Indian by name. Because that's what I'm American Indian. Post. Come on, man. You're just an American Indian by name. You're just an American Aborigine by name. Because you ain't doing nothing to restore what's ours. Nobody wants to come together. Everybody want to do this individual thing. This is a whole lot bigger than what you think it is. It's going to take all of us to come together, not a small group. Everybody that know who they are, come together, forget our little differences, whatever it is. Because we have to come up in numbers to deal with this situation right here. Chief Kalanago cannot do it alone, and I refuse to do it alone. Okay? Let us read Article 43 again, and I'm going to break that down for y'all. Let's read this. The authority of the legitimate power, keyword, legitimate power. I hope you know what legitimate means. Okay? Legitimate power having in fact passed into the hands of the occupant. We did not pass anything to these occupants. It was taken by fraud, by ratifying treaties that we were not a part of. So therefore, it is not legitimate. Legitimacy only comes into play when we have a seat at the table. These Native Americans, that's why they can't do anything. They are not the original people. So they have to sit around and take their paychecks and shut the hell up because they took the bag. We, the so-called Negroes of the Americas, we are the ones that have to stand up because we are the natural original inheritors of these lands. So let's read this again. The authority of the legitimate power having in fact passed, which we did not do, into the hands of the occupant, the United States, the latter, meaning that the United States shall take all measures in his power to restore and ensure as far as possible public order and safety while respecting, unless absolutely prevented, the laws in force in that country. You see, we don't have laws established because why? We go around calling ourselves black. We don't go by our indigenous American Aboriginal laws. I know what they are. I'm willing to teach you. In 1949, these laws governing occupation of an enemy state territory were further extended by the adoption of the Fourth Geneva Convention. Much of the GC 4, which is the Geneva Convention 4, is relevant to protected persons in the occupied territories, and Section 3, occupied territories, is a specific section covering the issue. Article 6 restricts the length of time that most of the Geneva Convention 4 applies. The present convention shall apply from the offset of any conflict or occupation mentioned in Article 2. In the territory of parties to the conflict, the application of the present convention shall cease on the general close of military operations. In case of the occupied territory, the application of the present convention shall cease 1 year after the general close of military operations. However, the occupying power shall be bound for the duration of the occupation to extend that such power exercises the functions of governments in such territory by the provisions of the following articles of present convention, blah, 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 with all these numbers. Geneva Convention 4 emphasized an important change in international law. The United Nations Charter June 26, 1945, had prohibited war of aggression. All right. See Articles 1, blah, 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 and the Geneva Convention for Article 47. The first paragraph in Section 3, occupied territories restricted the territorial gains which could be made through war by stating, protected persons who are in occupied territories shall not be deprived, okay, in any case or any manner whatsoever, period, of the benefits of the present convention by any change introduced as a result of the occupation of a territory into the institutions or the government of said territory, nor by any agreement concluded between the authorities of the occupied territories and the occupying powers, nor by any annexation by latter of the whole or part of the occupied territories. Now, it seems I'm just reading, and some of the things you may not comprehend, but I think you got the gist of what I'm talking about when it comes to occupational laws. All right. The United States is a foreign occupier. Okay. They are squatters on our land. You feel me? While we are here being distracted. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. Because there are laws that states within international law, a foreign occupier could be asked to step down when the sovereign of that land step up. And if they don't, then we have a right to do it by force. Where are our embassies? We're supposed to have an American Aboriginal embassy. You feel me? We are supposed to have our own government. We are supposed to have our own institutions. My brothers and sisters, man, all I could do is just let you know I'm ready. I've always been ready. I'm not the one to just keep talking and talking and talking and talking. It is just sickening to the point I just want to shut up. You feel me? Let me go to Facebook real quick. And I'm not here to put anybody on blast, but this is my timeline on Facebook, so I could highlight the things on Facebook. All right? Go to Facebook real quick. I got 4,999 friends on Facebook, and not even 100 of them is always posting things about who we are and teaching and saying, yo, we need to come together. No, literally over 4,990 or 800 and whatever is about a bunch of bullshit. And I'm not putting anybody on blast. Okay, I'm just going through my timeline. Okay, on Facebook. All right. And just look at the things that people are posting. Okay. And it's crazy to me, man. It's crazy. Like, people just don't see the emergency. All right. Now, of course, you have people posting their businesses, and that's good. I support that. All right. I support that. We're supposed to support each other. But I'm just saying, like, it's a lot of things about that's not necessary, man. It's not. Our goal right now, we are supposed to come together and be organizing as a unit to restore our birthright. That's what we are supposed to be doing right now. Okay? That's what we are supposed to be doing right now. And I'm not putting anybody on blast. I'm just going through my timeline to show you that a lot of the posts on Facebook, okay, is not what we are supposed to be posting about. Okay? And that's, again, almost 5,000 people. You feel me? My brothers and sisters, man, I'm not putting anybody on blast. All right? That's not what I'm doing. Okay? But I'm just showing you that this is my timeline. And when I go through my timeline, I get so disgusted. It's only a few people that post things about us being indigenous, us being American Indians, us having to come together, promoting their businesses. Like, literally over 95% or more of the people on my friends list, okay, they don't look at the videos I post. They have no idea what I'm talking about. But when I go to their page, it's a bunch of BS. And that's just crazy to me, man. It's crazy. Okay? It's crazy. But anyway, this is just, man, I don't know. Okay? It's sad, man. It's sad. It's really sad. And the same thing here is happening in Dominica, like I said. The Chinese are have not taken over, they have taken over. And guess what? It's going to happen in the US as well. You feel me? It's happening in Jamaica. So if we don't wake our asses up and be proactive and step up and do what we have to do by any means necessary, we're going to end up being Chinese citizens. Mark my words. Because y'all going to come back and look at this video and be like, damn, this man told us all of this. And we did not listen. My brothers and sisters, what are the three basic essentials of life to live life? Food, clothing, and shelter. If they take all the land, then they control your food. If they take all the land, they control your shelter. If they take all the land, they control your clothing. You see that? Your entire livelihood is being taken away from you, right underneath your nose, and you don't care. And of course, I'm not talking about everybody. You know who the cap fit, let them wear it. Because you know yourselves. You know what you post. You know what your timeline is like on Facebook. You know if you're one of the ones that's always posting bullshit. You know that. Hmm? I mean, what's going on, man? What's going on? My brothers and sisters, this is we can get this back. It is not too late right now. It is not. Like I said, in 2017, I was ready to go to The Hague. I was ready to go to The Hague, all these places. I was ready to go to international court. But like I said, some demons came into our mix, and I had to shut everything down. People who claim to be American Aborigines who look like us wanted to destroy what we already had. And here we are in 2023, about to approach 2024. My brothers and sisters, 2024, okay, is very, very important. When we look at 24, 2 and 4 is 6. All right. That's important because we have to, when we go back to numerology, okay, and we're dealing with numbers, it says in the allegorical Bible that God created and then rested on the seventh day. Okay. So the sixth day was supposed completion. All right. But let us look at 2024 and not just the 24. We have 2024. 2 plus 0 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. Okay. 8 symbolizes eternal life. Okay. So we have an opportunity to step up now and make a lot of things manifest in 2024. And they cannot stop us. They can't stop us. We could make this happen. We can. What are we waiting on? Why are we so stiff-necked? Why can't we come together, those of us who know I see enough people talking about it where if we come together, we could make an impact. Now, we may not make the impact that more people could make, but we could start something where others will see, well, wow, if 1,000 of them could do this, can you imagine what 10,000 will do? Can you imagine if we had the numbers that the Nation of Islam had? Can you imagine that? They have about 10 to 15,000 deep. Can you imagine that? Man, we would change the world. We will change the world. The world is waiting on us. Because others will see and they will follow. And there's nothing wrong in following as long as you're following the right things. You feel me? Because everybody wasn't meant to be a leader. And that's just facts. But you have to be mindful of whom you are following. That is the deciding factor. Now, I'm not saying I'm the only one that could do this. I'm not saying I'm the only one who knows this. I'm just saying I've never heard anybody break down the things I break down the way I do and give you so much detail like I do. You feel me? And I've never heard of anyone, maybe they did, but I've never heard of anyone making the moves that I've already made. I've never heard it. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm just saying I haven't heard it. So I know a little something, something. I'm willing to take my mind and place it in everybody's mind so that I'm not the only one with the information. I'm willing to teach everything that I know. My brothers and sisters, we got babies out here, man. We got elders out here, man. If you don't care yourself, you don't care about none of this, do it for the babies. Are we going to continue to pass on our babies to these foreign slave masters? Are we going to continue to do this? Hmm? Are we going to allow our parents to work their asses off all their lives and their pensions and the social securities are going to be taken away from them? Hmm? Are we going to settle for this? I mean, let me tell you something. We supposed to be in a position where we making so many demands, they don't have a choice but bend or break. And I'm going for break. You feel me? Because they know who we are. They know the type of temperament we have. They know that Indian blood in us is not a joke. They know this. So they have to tame you down by calling you an African. They have to tame you down by calling you black, Afro-American, all these different things. Because they don't want you to ignite that American Indian energy in you. Let me tell you something. That American Indian energy is no joke. That's why another reason you should know that these natives are not the original people. They don't have it in them. They never fought these battles. They were not the ones fighting the US. No. They were the ones that were the beneficiaries of all the wars that we fought. They were just put in place. These ninjas ain't they ain't fight nothing. What is wrong with our people, man? So what they was like, okay, you know what? These American Indians from day one, we know that they ain't no joke because they have never lost a physical war. They know this. All right? And that's a fact. I dare you to go to anybody and show me where they fought them American Indian wars and show me anyone that we lost. I'm not saying we didn't lose lives, but each and every one had to end with a treaty because we did not lose. We are We are, trust me, we ain't nothing to play with. So what they did, they was like, okay, we see what it is. We can't beat them. Let's join them. And when we join them, we're going to teach them to be each other's enemies. Hmm? So that's why our brothers are in the hood right now, dealing with colors and flags, fighting each other over territories, because it was all institutionalized. Okay? That's why sisters out here fighting sisters, disrespecting each other, brothers disrespecting brothers. We have lost respect and honor for each other. We no longer see each other as gods, but we call each other niggas. You feel me? I mean, literally, we could step up and it's like taking candy from a baby to take back what's ours. It's really that simple. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's simple. The simple part is the first step. Come together, let's unite as one. You see, that they don't want that. They don't want that. And here's the irony in this. Africa is uniting, but the American Aborigines are here fighting each other. Ain't that a BI? Hmm? Africa is standing up and fighting against these colonizers. They said, nah, no more. Enough is enough. Okay? They actually ignited the minute bowl. I think that's his name. I think it wasn't minute bowl. What's his name? The guy that says, um, no, 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 not today. He was in the NBA, blocking all them shots. That's what this African said. You know what I mean? No, 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 not today. They're blocking all the moves the colonizers making. And that's what they're supposed to do. We are a distinct people. We are supposed to be uniting and say, no, enough is enough. We ain't doing this no more. Yep, Mutombo. I appreciate that, D. Okay? That's what we're supposed to be doing right now. Standing up together and saying like Mutombo, oh, no, no, not today. Nah, enough is enough. Your time is up as a foreign occupier. We are the only ones that's extending the state of the U.S. on our sovereign land. We are the only ones. The entire world is shutting the U.S. down, but we out here not doing anything. Hmm? We have a right once again to set up our own government, our own embassy, our own police, our own sheriff, our own marshals, our own constitution, our own banks. We have every single right to set up everything our own airlines. All in 2016, I had notes. Okay, I had notes in 2016 of already the name of our American Airlines, American Aboriginal Airline, AAA. Take that back. It's ours. Take it back. We don't care about your patent. This is ours. We taking it back. Everything with American in it, we taking it back. We taking it back. And then what we do? Once we unite, we come together, we start going into Africa and we start signing treaties with them over there as a distinct people. So now we united. Tell me how we're going to lose. In 2016, I was writing all these things down. I wrote a letter to the Pope in 2017. People just don't know, man. I called the International Court a few times in 2017. Of course, I didn't get through, but it doesn't mean I wasn't trying. You know what I'm saying? No, I have a connection to The Hague from a couple of my friends in the UN. It's like, Chief, listen, man, I could help you shake a few hands, but These people don't deal with individuals, they deal with nations. And that's when the ancestors came to me about, I would say about 4 or 5 months ago, about 5 months ago, and said, "Hey, Chief, it is time to, resurrect the nation." The nation, we just stopped accepting people into our nation. So they came to me as a council. Normally, the ancestors would come individually, but literally 20 something of them came, and they were serious. The energy was different. And they said, "It's time to resurrect the nation," meaning that let more people, but this time scrutinize more, do a little more due diligence in who you accept into the nation. And that's what I've been doing. Like I told y'all before, the Constitution is already done. Constructive notice is already done. Nation IDs is already done. Our registration for our automobiles is already done. Our travel/drive IDs is already done. Our correction status documents is already done. And I'm ready to put all these fools on notice. All of them. But like I said, I can't do this alone. You feel me? And yes, we do have people in our nation, but the numbers is not where we need it to be. And yes, we're making some moves. We're making some significant moves because, like I told y'all in a prior video, one of our nation people in Arizona, she was having some issues with her son because she wanted to homeschool her son, and the school did not want him to be on the basketball team because they said that he's not part of the school because he's homeschooled. I told her exactly what to do. Okay, what we had to send in terms of documents, and guess what? He's actually on the school basketball team now, and in his nation indigenous name. So that's a victory for us. It can be done. I know how to do it. I'm not just talking about things I think. I know. And I'm not saying that I know everything or I'm aware. Well, I know everything. I'm not aware of everything. So I'm not saying that I'm aware of everything because I'm certainly sure. And the beauty about the people that's in our nation, everyone is always adding to what we have, because knowledge is coming from, we discuss things. It is not a thing where, oh, well, chief is the chief and everything he said. No, I ask everybody for their opinions and I respect their opinions. I just don't do things just because. No. Okay. They have suggestions. They send, "Hey, chief, what you think about that?" "Oh, you know what? I didn't think about that. That's beautiful. Let's make this happen." Because they have knowledge as well. So they are also teaching me things. You see me? Steel sharpens steel. You did. So I just know once we start increasing with numbers and we make sure everybody's on the same page, because that's what we are doing, we are going to be a force to be reckoned with. I promise you that. Wait till we get to the size of what we call the Nation of Islam. We are going to flip the American continent upside down. I promise you that. I've already seen it in visions. My frustration comes from people not seeing it. And even if they do, they are still lackadaisy. They are still not proactive. They are too relaxed. You feel me? And that is because I've seen it happen. But I know it's going to happen. All right. Regardless of whether they get it or not, it's going to happen. Because why? The ancestors are going to make sure it's done, but you're going to suffer even more because you are too stiff-necked. And the truth of the matter is the suffrage is on you. It's not really the ancestors making it happen. It's really you, because it's happening because of your actions. The only thing is the ancestors are not stopping it because they can, but they're not going to. All right. So anyway, I'm about to get out of here, man. I think I've said enough. All right. Hey, Queen, I received your email and I responded. All right, just so you know. All right, because I'm in the islands right now, so I had to wait till I get back to the house. You know, and get the internet to respond. And I had to go to town today, so I was like, when I get back, I'm gonna respond to you. So I definitely sent you an email. So when you get a chance, check it out and respond accordingly if you may. And we could take it from here. But like I said, we're on the right path, and we don't have to wait for everybody. The bottom line is we just have to set up the foundation, which the foundation is set. All right. We just have to make sure it's a little more solidified. I mean, that it's iron proof. You know what I'm saying? And once that's done, then we can make sure that it's time to move forward and move forward as a unit, as a community. All right. And once again, I'm always going to remind you, we don't need anybody that's unrighteous. We don't need that. We don't need people that are jealous. We don't need people that gossip. We don't need none of that in our nation. We don't need low vibrational entities in our nation. We don't need that. We don't need that. Okay. And if you come into our nation with any bad intention to destroy what we have, I promise you, you're going to be destroyed from the inside out. I promise you that. Okay. And that is not a promise, it's a threat, because I'm going to make sure the ancestors eat you out. Okay. From the inside out, meaning literally your inside is going to be destroyed, deteriorated, and it's going to show on your flesh. Mark my words for that. And I'm not playing with this. This is our birthright I'm fighting here for. And I'm serious about this. So don't come talking about, hey, Chief, I want to be a part of the nation, but you have some negative energy within you. Behind, underneath, you have some ulterior negative motives. Okay? I promise you, you will not last. So just know what we're doing is on a whole different level. All right? And just know that it's ordained by the ancestors. Just know that. Go ask the few of them that tried to take us out a few years ago. Ask them where they're at right now. Because I tell them, anytime y'all come up against Chief Kalanago, you don't know who I am. Anytime you come up against me, you're going to lose every single time, because they don't know who I am. All right, then. That's all I'm going to say. All right. So once again, I think I've given y'all the emails before, but I'm going to give it to you again. Give me 1 second. Let me give me 1 second here. Let me go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. All right. So I'm gonna give you 2 emails so you could reach out. You know what? I'm just gonna give you one. Let me type it out. You see. Let me go ahead and share my screen so I could kind of show it to you so you could have it. All right. Whether you're on the live right now or you get to see the video later. Give me 1 second, please. I was actually researching on some AI software earlier, because got some things I'm putting in motion. But anyway, let me go here and show you. So this is the email right here. Okay, it's highlighted. UnitedAnionWea@gmail.com. UnitedAnionWea@gmail.com. If you are interested, like I said, and you just want some information, okay, then just reach out and I will make sure the information is accessible, and then you'll see the information and you'll make a determination whether you want to be a part of what we are doing. But I guarantee you what we are doing, like I said, is solid. Okay, it's solid. Okay, it's really solid. So send an email if you may, if you so choose, unitedandionwea@gmail. Let us get these numbers up with the best of us, the righteous among us. Okay? And let us make this change. Let us restore our birthright. And once we organize in the numbers that we are supposed to have to make these moves, then I promise you, you're going to see things change in the United States, Canada, different parts of the Americas. And that's how we're going to take over. And nobody could stop it. Nobody. Because they're fighting against a power they themselves don't comprehend. Okay? So we'll be just fine. All right? Man. So enjoy the rest of your 24. Be good to each other. Love each other. Be your brother's keeper. Be your sister's keeper. And let's continue to rise. All right? Let's continue to rise. Because like I said, we are making this happen. We are. And I'm not going to apologize for my delivery. I'm not going to apologize for my passion. It only comes from what I see and what I've been shown. And I'm just so excited to see it manifest, to see it come into fruition. You see what I'm saying? So all that comes from my passion. So I'm not going to apologize. It's only because I have seen the promised land. And I know how to take us to the promised land. You see, Moses did not see the promised land. The allegorical Moses did not see the promised land. But guess what? Chief Kalanago have already seen the promised land because we are in the promised land. It has always been ours. All right. Y'all be good. And don't forget, be a meaningful specific and not a wandering generality, in the words of Zig Ziglar. Be a meaningful specific and not a wandering generality. If you don't know what that means, go look at my prior video I did earlier today talking about manifestation and all these different things. Okay? I will see you at the top because the bottom is just too crowded. Happy sunrest.